What is going on, Ive Warriors? So there's been this new wave of people searching for ice hacks for fat loss, where they can use ice and not do any exercise at all, and specifically target belly fat, for example. And they use this as a compress to try to see if it makes it freezes the adipocytes, and then it kills the fat cells. Well, we're going to take a look at some of the, I'm going to look at two short videos. This one's about 2 minutes and 47 seconds, and then we're going to look at another one. They're super old videos, about 8 years old, but because there's a resurgence, I want to look at the videos that were popular in this field in terms of ice hacks, right? So let's see. This could not even be what I'm looking for, but I know the next video after this will definitely be that. So first, let's go ahead and check this one out. Let's see. I like to watch these live with you guys. I don't like to watch them beforehand. So let's see what happens.
Swimsuit season is here, and everyone is looking for a quick and easy way to shed a few pounds, right? But now one doctor is suggesting a new diet that will melt away those stubborn pounds, literally. It's called the ice diet. Well, joining us live this morning to explain exactly what it is and how it works is Dawn Napoli. She's a registered dietitian with UF Health Cancer Center at Orlando Health. Good morning. Thanks for...
A registered dietitian, not a doctor. They just flip-flop these words, man. Registered dietitian. Okay.
Coming in.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
The ice diet. Okay, I'm a little leery. Tell us what this is.
Okay, so the theory behind this is called thermogenics, and it's saying that your body expends so much energy or calories to melt the ice. So you're actually spending calories and not bringing in calories. So essentially, you should lose weight.
Yeah, because a lot of people think if you drink...
Why does she say it with such a lack of confidence? She's like, essentially, you should lose weight. If you're at a show, if you're at a Good Day Orlando, whatever, at a news show, and you're representing something as a thing to do, have a little bit more confidence than that. You should be like, it's almost like you're questioning if thermodynamics is correct, if what you're saying will work in tandem with thermodynamics, if you've even tested this at all, if this is just a theory that you popped into your head. That's the vibe that I got from the way that she answered that question. But let's continue.
Drink something cold, like cold water in the morning, it speeds up your metabolism and it helps you lose weight. But does this really work?
Right. So theoretically, it should work because you are expending those energy. But truthfully, to lose a pound each week, you have to expend about 3,200 calories. And that equates to about 9 pounds of ice per day.
See, that's another misconception. Even if you expend to 3,200 calories, right? It's not in a vacuum. It's not guaranteed that, not even close to being guaranteed that those 3,200 calories will come from body fat. It's going to come from glycogen. It's going to come from some muscle tissue. It's going to come from a bunch of different things. It could even come, it could come from so many things. So for them to just be like, oh, 32, boom, that's the number on the money is 3,200. So just figure out a way to get 3,200 calories to be burned, and it's gonna be 3,200 calories of body fat. That is not necessarily the case. Hold on, what did she say? Wait.
9 pounds a day to lose 1 pound a week?
Right. I don't know anybody that can eat 9 pounds of
9 pounds of ice to lose 1 pound a week, because 9 pounds would equate to 3,200 in terms of the thermodynamics of cold and melting ice. Are you eating the ice or are you putting it on your body? Look, what's going on? I thought that this was putting it on your body. I could be wrong.
Of ice per day.
No, that's all you would be eating all day long is ice.
Right.
No food, just ice.
Right. It's a lot of ice. Even if you put ice in every single one of your drinks, it's a lot of ice to be eating to really, work. So, I mean, truthfully, you probably could turn the thermostat down a little bit or, wear less clothing so that you're actually, you're speeding up your metabolism that way and probably lose more weight than eating the ice.
So if people want to attempt...
Why does she seem so flippy floppy, unsure of what she's saying? This is so frustrating. Come with some confidence, please.
...to this 9 pounds of ice a day, is it even safe to try and do something like this?
You know, ice is safe as long as you're not chewing it, so you're not putting your teeth or your gums in damage, and you're not eating too much ice. You're not, eating the ice when it's really cold outside, so you're putting yourself at a higher risk of hypothermia. Ice is safe to eat. It's not going to harm you, but, I don't think the 9 pounds is really doable.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many fad diets. These come and go all the time. Doesn't it basically come down to eat right and exercise and you'll slim down?
Yeah, I hate to be...
Okay. So they are poking fun at the ice diet. That's what they're doing. That's the reason why she seems so unsure with what she's saying, because she's saying that the ice diet doesn't appear to work. So she's going against using the ice diet. Okay.
Like the go back to everything that we've always talked about and be that kind of boring, just eat right.
But it works.
It really does work. And what you really should be having in your diet is healthful foods, because you want your health to be good. So if your health is good, then your weight is going to be stable and manageable, and you're going to be at a healthy weight. You're going to be physically fit by including your physical activity, your fruits and vegetables, your whole grains, getting your fluids in. All that together works to make you a healthy human being. So that is really what our goal should be.
Yeah, just go back to the basics. It works.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I do agree with quality of food. It definitely helps you. It definitely makes your body healthier and helps with metabolizing body fat. But let's look at this video right here. I want to look at this video here.
What if you could have your own personal fitness and health coach for just $30 per month? Let me introduce you to the Whoop 4.0.
Calories in equals calories
Let's
out,
look at this
right?
video real quick.
Well, this is not the true weight loss equation, and I will explain why many so-called fitness experts are wrong.
This is by Primed on YouTube, and this video was 5 years old.
There are more ways to lose weight than through activity levels and caloric restrictions. Essentially what you're doing is getting rid of energy in order to lose weight, and energy can neither be created nor destroyed. It can only change forms. People seem fixated on exercise and storage as the only two ways to do so. Thermodynamics is king in changing forms of energy, and it allows you to get rid of fat in a ridiculously high pace.
Oh, okay. So, all right, this is what I was looking for. This person's actually talking, it looks like he's going to be talking about putting ice packs and stuff on your body to burn away body fat.
So in this video, I will break down how exposure to cold will burn calories, simple methods to maximize fat burning, and what to eat before cold exposure to lose more weight faster. Remember when news came out about Michael Phelps and his ridiculous 12,000 calorie diet? Well, he debunked that himself by saying he only eats about 8 to 10,000 calories per day, that is. That is absolutely outrageous, to be able to be in peak condition while forcing 10,000 calories down every single day. But the secret of burning that many...
But keep in mind, Michael Phelps is incredibly active, and swimming is the most taxing, it's the most taxing kind of thing that you can do in terms of burning calories, in terms of your heart rate, because, and in terms of just physical activity, because you're literally using every part of your body. Every single part of your body is being used, and he has to swim for a consistently high, like a super high amount of time for intervals at a time, just constantly nonstop swimming. It is not, you cannot look at this man and put him in the real world with other people. He could eat 8,000, 10,000 calories. That does seem pretty super high, even all things considered, but he is burning calories constantly. He's using that energy all the time. All the time. All right, let's continue.
Many calories is not only in his exercise, but in his environment. He trains for hours in water. It's the cold water that makes it possible to burn those extra calories. Exposure to cold temperatures is known to mimic the
Hold on. Gut micro trigger fat loss in response to cold temperatures. Exposure to cold temperatures is known to mimic the effects of exercise, protecting against obesity and improving metabolic health. So this is not even a study. This is talking about a study. Study now reveals the beneficial health effects of the cold exposures are mediated in part by gut microbes. The researchers found that the cold exposure dramatically alters the composition of intestinal bacteria in mice. Oh, this is a mice study. This microbial shift is sufficient to burn fat, improve glucose metabolism, and reduce body weight. Now, okay, I'm not saying that cold will not, kill fat cells or adipocytes and then reduce the fat because of the fat cells dying. I'm just saying that with a compress is probably not possible, considering the fact that our bodies fight against that, and it'll heat up, and it will essentially heat up the compress that you have on you, and it will no longer be cold. It's not going to have a sufficient amount of consistency of cold to bite through and kill the adipocytes. Now, if you do it through like injection and stuff like that, through medical injection, and it goes directly to the fat cells, that's a completely different story. So what this is looking at is like a mice study with mice, and like what happened to the mice. It's much easier for a very, very small mice if you put a cold compress that's massive around them, that they won't be able to escape, and they won't be able to stop it from piercing through and killing some fat cells. But to put a compress on a human is a completely different story. Can cold compresses burn? Can cold temperatures burn fat cells? Yes, but it would have to be done through some type of injection, not through just putting a compress on top.
Effects of exercise, protecting against obesity and improving metabolic health. Take climbing Mount Everest, for example. Obviously, the climbing itself will burn calories. However, the extreme climate will force body fat to be used as heat, and the pounds will fly off. Take climbing Mount Everest, for example.
Let me see what he said.
Obviously, the climbing itself will burn calories. However,
study.
the extreme climate.
I'm a study nerd. It's again insight matter, measuring simultaneous energy intake, energy expenditure, and body composition. Let's see. The loss of fat mass over the observation intervals was 1.4, 0.7 kg on average, 2/3 of the weight loss, and was significantly correlated with the energy deficit, lower than during the preparation in the Alps. It says, and was significantly correlated with the energy deficit, which is with a 0.05 statistical significance number, which means that this is more than likely, because anything 0.05 or below means that this is more than likely what happened. It is statistically significant. So, and it says was significantly correlated with energy deficit. See, this is the thing. People, energy deficit means that you like a net negative energy balance. Like you're at a caloric deficit, basically. This is not talking about cold. So people will put stuff like this up, and you'll see, oh, it's a study, man. This is so cool. There's a study, 1992. Oh, this is so cool. And it's not saying the thing that the person in the video is talking about. So you always got to be very mindful of these studies. That's why one of the best things to do is to show the study that you're talking about, like he did. Unfortunately, this kind of shows that what he's talking about is not really, it doesn't really relate to what he's trying to say. Like, this doesn't relate to what he's trying to say. Yes, they lost weight from climbing Mount Everest, basically from an energy deficit.
Climate will force body fat to be used as heat, and the pounds will fly off. Scott Parasinski, a former astronaut, attempted to climb Mount Everest twice and lost about 25 pounds each time. In order to prevent excessive weight loss, they had to eat lard and sticks of butter. This is the power of thermodynamics, an alternative way to get rid of energy and simply shiver fat away. The Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism writes in their studies that you can shiver yourself slim by turning the heat down a few degrees. Our bodies do not naturally burn calories due to today's overheated homes and offices. So there are two kinds of fats, white and brown. It's the brown fat that the body will burn to generate heat, and the colder you become, the more brown fat you will burn. And when the white fat becomes cold, it can turn into a kind of brown fat, which in turn will be used as heat. In one study, participants were exposed to colder temperature for 10 hours each night for a month. They had only bed sheets and had their food provided with good nutrition. After undergoing extensive evaluations when the month had passed, it showed that the participants had a 42% increase in brown fat volume, while at the same time increasing fat metabolic activity by 10%. Ray Cronis, a former NASA scientist, states that he used this technique to boost his weight loss on many occasions, one time losing 30 pounds in 6 weeks. It takes a lot of energy heating the body, and is not much different than heating your house. By exposing the body to cold, it has to use the body fat as energy in order to maintain natural body heat. Ray experimented on himself by drinking only ice cold water, sleeping without covers, went for midwinter shiver walks to see how effective this method was. He lost almost 6 pounds the first week. He later improved his methods and made it a lot less painful, which I will go over shortly. But back in 2006, Ray tried losing weight following an exercise and diet plan. It worked great and he lost about 20 pounds in 12 weeks. This was before he was introduced to cold exposure, and the weight he lost during this plan was sadly gained back with interest. However, Ray was not done yet, and after reading about the effectiveness of cold exposure and fat loss, he decided to try it again. He used the same diet and exercise plan, but this time he implemented intermittent cold exposure. This time he lost 29 pounds in only 6 weeks, for an average of 4.8 pounds of weekly fat loss. The addition of cold exposure alone rapidly increased the fat loss, and he managed to lose the weight 3 times faster. Ray Cronis and Tim Ferriss have both experimented with thermodynamics in order to lose weight fast, and there are some fairly pleasant methods that most people can use. First of all, he consumed an ECA stack 45 minutes before being exposed to the cold, and he did that on an empty stomach. The ECA stack causes your body to target specific fat cells to be burned for energy, all while raising your overall metabolism.
See, this is a problem when you introduce so many different variables to the weight loss process, is that you don't know what is correlating and what is causing. You don't know what is just there because you did this or what is just there because you actually use this tool to lose weight. So it's tough to use this and say that this is a good data source to tell you, hey, look, cold works. Now, what this person was doing is not even a cold compress. This person was just using cold, right? He was just sleeping with no covers, lowering the AC, going outside when it's super cold, probably with barely a shirt on or whatever, and walking. I mean, yeah, your body is going to burn some calories to compensate for the cold, but it's not going to be enough to, you're definitely not going to kill adipocytes this way. What you're going to do is you're going to just use energy. Like you're going to shiver your way, and the shivering process is to help you heat up your body, and it's going to help you burn calories, but it's going to be so negligible that, I mean, you're way better off doing it with a diet system or exercise than the small negligible returns that you're going to get on the little bit of calories that you're burning from getting yourself from being cold to heating up your body.
Metabolic rate and suppressing appetite. After that, he simply submerged himself in a cold bath for 20 minutes, where he was only submerged from the waist down the first 10 minutes, and the last 10 minutes he submerged his whole body except for his head. However, there is a more pleasant way of doing it, and you will get about 60% of the results even without the ECA.
Let's see this. Even without ECA. Okay, let's see.
Simply place an ice pack on the back of your neck and the upper traps area for roughly 30 minutes. It's more beneficial if you do it in the evening when you're less insulin sensitive. And that's pretty much it. There won't be any spasmic shivers, and you can chill in the couch while doing it. Another method you can use is to simply drink a big glass of ice cold water on an empty stomach upon waking up. Studies have shown that this will increase resting metabolic rate up to 30% 60 minutes post-consumption. And lastly, go for a cold shower. Start off with hot water and apply shampoo and soap, and when it's time to rinse it, turn it cold. Make sure the water hits the upper back, lower neck area for the best results. Most of the stuff that I've talked about you can buy on Amazon for a pretty cheap price, I will link the ECA pills.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and stop it right here. The cold compress, all that stuff, they're good to help your body reduce its heat if you have a fever or anything like that. But in terms of weight loss, it's so negligible and it's so minute. It's nearly useless. So can ice, in theory, freeze and kill adipocytes, which are the fat cells that house the fatty acids within your body, especially within the subcutaneous region? Yes, it can. The best way to do that will unfortunately be through a medical practice where they'll inject it into you. That is the best way. That is probably the only way to do that. Every other way, your body is so powerful that it will actually heat up and it will kill the heat from whatever compress you put on your body, not giving it the opportunity to come in and kill or freeze those adipocytes. And on top of that, even with that energy that it increased to reduce the heat of the ice pack that's being put on your body, it's so negligible. You're much better off not even paying attention to this for the little bit that you're gonna get out of it, and just going ahead and doing a diet or a nutrition thing or anything in terms of eating, even intermittent fasting, whatever you want to do for the calories in control portion, and some exercise to help with the thermodynamics of calories out. Like, they're using the word thermodynamics in a like tricky way. Like, thermodynamics, that means burning, and that means cold, and it's gonna be burning the cold, and the cold is the reverse, so your body has to. But that's not how it really works. That's not how it really works. Cold can work, but not in the way that they're explaining it here. It definitely has to be through a medical intervention. All right, guys, until the next one, let me know what you think down in the comment section below. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace. All right, gotta be quick.